As you guys may have seen over the weekend, I caused the great Mujin to crash out over just calling him an unreliable narrator. But we're gonna watch this video that Tectone made. Thank you, Tectone, for covering this story. It's going to be quite hilarious. It was posted 10 hours ago. Sweet. Mujin just lost all his credibility. I think he lost a lot of credibility. I don't know about all, but he lost a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to showcase you the most legendary crash out you might have ever seen. Now, this one breaks my heart because it's Mujin. And Mujin was a guy who I used to be friends with until he publicly disavowed me by lying on my name multiple times and saying that he reviewed information that was actually non-existent. Mujin.
I saw this happen in real time on Twitter where he publicly disavowed Tectone, and it was so cringe. It was so cringe. I just dislike it so much when people claim to be someone's good friend, and instead of going to them privately, they resort to publicly shaming them for Twitter points. Virtue signaling, it's just disgusting. It's really annoying.
Reviewed a document made by Ms. Kiff and deemed that a trustworthy source and wouldn't wait till real records came out. And so he threw the baby out with the bathwater and completely backstabbed me, which is a shame because Mujin reached out to me, asked for a collab, and I approved it, and we were good ever since. But, you know, what can you say?
Mujin reached out to Tectone for a collab? That means Tectone's a predator. Can't believe it. Wait, who's larger? Wait, who's the larger creator? I forgot. Is Mujin the larger creator or is Tectone the larger? Who's the predator? Mujin probably like 2 inches? You mean in viewers? What? Yeah, wait, what? What are we talking about? We're not talking about What are you talking? What are you saying? Back then, Mujin was smaller. Okay, so I was right. Phrasing. Mujin was no name back then? So you're telling me Mujin asked to collaborate with Tectone so that Mujin could possibly grow, get some clout from Tectone?
Say about fair weather friends, they throw you away the moment there's even a smell of controversy, and I'm not really surprised. And it's a shame, because I used to really like Mujin. I used to really think his videos were great, but over the past year or two, I'm noticing a pattern that he doesn't really do as much research as I thought he did.
Yeah.
And his ego is very fragile. Now, I want to talk about this video, and I want to talk about what happened on Twitter, but this might be the most uncomfortable crash out I have ever seen in my entire life. And I shit you not, Mujin went on Twitter and berated a woman because she wasn't pretending to be sexually assaulted or sexually harassed.
Yeah.
This is one of the most uncomfortable things I have ever seen. And I have never seen someone yell at someone because they weren't convinced they were a victim. This shit is weird as fuck.
It did. It read as like Mujin really wanted me to be a victim. That's how it came across. He was really mad that I was like, oh, you know, I just don't really feel victimized by what Sykkuno said to me, and what we hung out, and he's just, you know, kind of a flirt and stuff, but that's about it. Pretty sure Mujin said something along the lines of like, everyone's opinion matters, or like every woman who is coming forward with their stories about Sykkuno, it really matters. I guess it really matters until I disagree. And then he's gonna jump on me.
So, in case you don't know, let me give you some context.
Yep.
So, what had happened was a lot of VTubers are coming out and showing innocent, harmless messages or conversations they started with Sykkuno, claiming how they're victims, how this made them so uncomfortable, even though they engaged the conversations. And
There's even, I'm not shitting you, there is even a conversation I saw, no, I wouldn't even call it a conversation, on Twitter, of someone posting their DMs with Sykkuno. All it says is crab. Sykkuno says crab to some chick, and then she says crab back. And then she turned it into some sort of like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I've dodged a bullet. And what if he did this to me? And blah, 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 blah. It was just the word crab. Are we serious right now?
So Powder, like Powder often does, says, hey guys, I was in the same situation and I was fine. Let me read you this. Let's talk about it. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here. Can you criticize him for cheating? Absolutely. But never once did I feel manipulated by this dude. He's a huge flirt, but I was incredibly aware of the tower dynamic. Also, he was just friendly. Also saw some people throwing around the word predator around. I think that's
I'll read it off. Can you criticize him for cheating? Absolutely. But never once did I feel manipulated by this dude. He's a huge flirt, but I was incredibly aware of the power dynamic. Also, he was just friendly. He's quite forward with his Riz, which I didn't like being around, gave me player vibes. Am I gonna flip out on him? No. Usually when someone is like that, they're already talking to multiple people. I see some women trying to play victim as if they didn't have a brain in the situation. Also saw people throwing around the word predator. I think that's unreasonable. Mujin never really was a reliable narrator. If a larger content creator who's friendly asks to play a game with you, would you say no? So, bit of backstory on this. Sykkuno and I first came into contact with Chibidoki collab. So Chibidoki was doing this giant collaboration for Crab Game. Oh God, Crab. Crab Game, where a bunch of streamers were invited. One of those streamers was Sykkuno. There was Sykkuno and friends. There were some VTubers involved as well. Him and I got into like a 1v1 where he threw a snowball at me and then I died. No! No! And over a few months back in 2023, which is when the DMs took place, over the past couple months after that, a lot of people were coming to me and telling me that I sound like a female version of Sykkuno. So I think that might have gave Sykkuno a bit of a green light to reach out to me, because Sykkuno and I were in another Discord server. I believe it was made by Mooney. Her name's like Meow Mooney. He DM'd me just an emote and I went to respond and I couldn't because we weren't like friends, and then the Discord server got deleted. So I friend requested him and then he was like, how are you gonna friend request me and not send a message? And then I was like, oh, sorry, like Discord got deleted. I did try to reply. Then from there, our DMs are actually so fucking boring. I'm not going to deny, because a lot of people saw this, a 3-hour phone call, and people were running with that. And they were like, oh my God, they must have had e-sex or something like that. I'm gonna be so fucking honest, guys. For a while, Sykkuno does this thing where he says, we need to play games. Let's play games. And then doesn't like give a time or doesn't like follow through. And so there was one of those days where I was like, okay, are you free in like 2 hours? And he was like, yeah. And then so we played Baldur's Gate for 3 hours. This motherfucker, I'll never forgive him. He skipped all the cutscenes, and no lie, he told me, he's like, oh, I've played this beginning part like 5 times. What? I was like, why are we playing this game? But Sykkuno being Sykkuno, he says this thing where it's like, oh, well, I've never played it with you before. You know, like that. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess so. And our conversation was pretty casual, I'm not gonna lie. It was just me being awkward and like, oh, you know, I'm surprised a content creator like you wants to even like play a game with me. Because at the time, I was a smaller VTuber. I wasn't really, really small, but I was smaller. And we talked about our lives briefly. He talked to me about having 2 different houses, which it signaled to me when he said that he's played this game 5 times before. He's skipping all the cutscenes. He's saying like, oh, but I've never played this with you before, or something like that. And he's talking about having 2 houses. He's a pretty well-off guy. It signaled to me that I was like, all right, this guy is, you know, he talks. to a lot of people. I'm pretty sure I even called him out on it in the DMs. I'd have to go back because he was trying to tell me that he's like a very introverted person. And then I was like, I don't know, man. It kind of seems like you talk to a lot of people, because he was in these collabs and he has a lot of friends. So like, you can't tell me that you're like an introvert when you're just so easily like going into my DMs, sending an emote, and then asking to play games all the fucking time. You know, when we were playing the game though, I just got that feeling that, okay, this guy's like a player, like he has said these things to multiple women before, like it's like kind of awkward. I'm not going to be mean to him, you know, because it's just, I'm not gonna fault a guy for flirting with a girl, you know. I get it, right? I get it, right? It doesn't really bother me. It's just, I wasn't going to give him what he wanted from whatever, you know, what he wanted. So I distanced myself, and there are some DMs between us where, let me see if I can pull it up. Like, this is the last of our DMs. So I would leave him on red for like months because, again, like I said, I got the feeling that he was a player, and I wasn't the type of girl to be easily swayed into like sleeping with like a larger content creator, you know, or like dating someone like Sykkuno. It felt like he had plenty of women that he's talking to. But yeah, I'm just criticizing him for skipping the cutscenes. And the cheating thing, by the way, is bad, obviously. But skipping the cutscenes, what the fuck, man? You played this game 5 times. What the fuck? Also, it's so fucking annoying when someone is like, let's play games. And then you're like, okay, what time? Silence. Let's play games. Okay, but like right now is not a good time. Silence. A couple days later. Oh, want to play this game? By the way, anytime that I suggested playing games with like friends, because I wanted to invite my friend, and I told him, I was like, oh, maybe you can invite a friend as well and we can all play together. It was never worked out. One of the times he reached out and wanted to play a game was during one of my subathons, and I didn't want to do any sort of like collaboration during that time. And he kept, you know, asking to play games, and I was like, this is one of those things where I kind of want to get to know someone behind the scenes first before I start doing collaborations on stream, right? That's just something you think about as a content creator. Like, you don't want to platform someone that you're going to feel weird around, right? Going and playing games with them behind the scenes first, I feel like is a good way to suss someone out. And that's what I did. We played Baldur's Gate for like 3 hours, and then I took a mental note in my head where I was like, all right, you know, he's a nice guy, but I don't know how, if this is a friendship worth growing. It kind of feels like he wants more than friendship from me. So it just like slowly died off. That's it. How dare you not trust him? I wasn't gonna give him what he wanted, you know? It sounds like he's a flirt, right? Someone who talks like that comes across as someone who says that to other people too. Honestly, should have just blocked that creepoid. He's not. He's friendly. That's the thing. He's a friendly guy. He was a friendly guy. I'm not upset with guys who flirt. That's fine. That is okay. Guys flirting with girls is fine. I just, again, wasn't going to give him what he wanted, because to me, it felt like he either wanted to get in my pants or he wanted a girlfriend, and I wasn't going to give that to him. So, here we are. Then you look at Powdur's Discord, it's dudes flirting with dudes. Yeah, you guys are so fucking gay. You smart dude. It's just like, I didn't know much about this guy either. Like, to be fair, I didn't know that he was such a huge content creator until I feel like just about before we started playing Baldur's Gate. Because I was a smaller content creator back in 2023. I don't know who's connected to who and stuff. I saw that he had a lot of what is it, subscribers on YouTube, and I was like, wow, you know, this guy's a pretty big deal. You just kind of take a mental note in your head where you're like, okay, this is a very large content creator. Why is he talking to me? Like, why me of all people? And when you ask Sykkuno something like that, he's probably gonna say like, oh, because I just found you really cool and interesting. Okay. You know, and that is like, okay, thank you, but kind of feels like a recycled line, right? Like, I don't know. You just need to be sus, right? When you're a little content creator and a big content creator reaches out and is like, hey, want to play games together? And they're being very flirty with you, think about it, you know? And if you reciprocate, then okay, you know, that's your prerogative. If you want to, you know, explore things sexually, or if you want to get into a relationship with this person, then that's your choice. Let's just be honest here. Oh, to be completely transparent, guys, I was gonna leave it alone. I was gonna leave the whole Sykkuno thing alone, but I thought it would be so fucking funny if I came forward and I was like, ladies, you're not special. We're all special. These ladies hate me. The VTubing community hates me. They think that I am literally Hitler. So I thought it would be kind of funny to be like, ladies, this guy that you know, were with has been with Hitler. I just wanted to poke at them a little bit. I thought it'd be kind of funny. But then Mujin crashing out was a little sprinkle on top. Wasn't expecting that, honestly. I was honestly just expecting some girls to crash out. But to see Mujin crash out, oof. Oh, chef's kiss. What a weekend.
Unreasonable. I'm not going to sit here and cry and pretend like I'm a victim. It's very obvious to tell what his intentions were, because I'm not retarded. And well, Mujin, for some reason, is a very normal thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Mujin freaked the f out and made one of the most uncomfortable posts I've ever seen that got triple ratioed in 3 hours. Mujin decides to quote retweet Powdur in a mocking fashion, by the way, because this woman didn't want to paint herself a victim because she wasn't one. This is absolutely out of control. So Mujin is claiming that Powdur is some grifting female hater.
Yeah, essentially, I call Mujin an unreliable narrator, and Mujin hits back with, you fucking grifter blacked whore! Oh. Whoa, buddy. Oh, man. Relax.
Who's also a female. Most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen is and by the way, Mujin, you talk about power dynamics. Now you have a smaller content creator expressing her point of view, and then you specifically abuse your power dynamic, saying, I'm going to use my channel and my influence, my massive influence that completely dwarfs their channel. Let's pull up some facts.
Guys, I can't believe Mujin's manipulating me right now. Threatening me and manipulating me.
Facts. So we have a small YouTuber who gets 24,000 views, 47,000 views, 37,000 views every couple months, with a guy who gets millions of views every single time he posts anything that everybody believes without any checking of themselves at all, even though multiple of these videos have been completely debunked in the past year. The content has completely fallen off in the past year, completely debunked. And now you are threatening her by saying you are going to make a massive expose because she dated a black guy? Not really a good look for all of these, for this guy who claims that he is morally virtuous.
I've never dated a black guy. I've never slept with a black guy, by the way. But so fucking weird, right? And he's gonna get people from both sides criticizing him too, because you have people who are on my side who don't like the blacked thing, right? The blacked posting. That's like, dude, what's wrong with you? Post hands. Like, are you Indian or are you Southeast Asian? What's going on here? And then you're gonna get people on the opposite side that are like, why are you criticizing someone for having a mixed race relationship? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Cringe. So why are you giving Powdur a hard time? Yeah, I think Mujin just really like shot himself in the foot. Like, I think he's like schizo posting. I almost want him to release a video because he thinks that he has something on me, but he's just gonna lie. Like, it's just all lies. He's so fucking mad. He's threatening me with an expose video based on lies. Like, I almost want him to do it so that I can just come in and call him a fucking retard and then move on. But we'll see what happens. I do feel good that I double ratioed him on Twitter though. Feels good.
All of these, for this guy who claims that he is morally virtuous and is so on the woman's side, yet the moment a woman speaks out against him, she's a misogynist, and now you're gonna use your massive reach and influence to ruin her life. Not gonna lie, not a good look here. Goes even further. Also, English is my first language, and I have no idea that predator can mean a person or organization that uses weaker people for their own advantage. Intentionally claiming and using negligence, unintentional negligence. You think these people don't know and what you did by calling Sykkuno a predator? You have ruined his life forever. You ruined his life forever. Forever. You have completely eviscerated this man's life by—
I want to get chat's opinion on this. So, what Sykkuno is guilty of? Cheating on his girlfriend. Not good. Bad. Right? Flirting with lots of VTuber women, but that's not really a problem. So just cheating, right? So do you think that he deserved this? I want to get your opinion. Do you think that he deserves a Google Doc and a video by Mujin painting him as a predator? Guilty of being a fuckboy? Yeah. No? Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to see if we were on the same page. The only victim's his girlfriend? Yeah, the only victim's his girlfriend, which people found out, by the way. Her name is like Weenie Desu or Maddie or something, which she made models for both Bao and Iron Mouse. So I wonder if like Sykkuno's influence was in that somehow. That's just a theory. But yeah, the only victim is his girlfriend, really. Also, I could see some people making the argument that Sykkuno is a victim of Mujin and these women making a Google Doc and a video on him. But I don't think anyone's gonna say that because they're gonna get a bunch of backlash. But yes, the girlfriend's the victim in this situation. She was cheated on. Legal Mindset released a YouTube video that stated that using the term predator without actual evidence has left the door open for some serious legal issues. Ooh. Mujin has a crash out on Twitter and then gets sued by Sykkuno. Ooh, that would be... Is it Christmas? Christmas already?
Can you believe it, guys?
Do you think it's a coincidence that the exact same people like Mujin have made this coordinated hit piece on someone an entire year after doing it to Cinder? Well, Mujin and the girl, her name is Mal, I believe. Mal did come out on Twitter and say that they were friends. Or good friends, something to that effect. So, yeah, I mean, there's very, 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 very low chance that this chick releases this doc, and then 2 hours later, Mujin comes forward with an hour-long edited video. And that's just like a coincidence or something? No. There was definitely some colluding behind the scenes. For sure. Was Powdur the first one to call out his use of the word predator? No, I don't think so. Because I left the situation alone. I was just memeing about the situation. And then the next day, I decided to come forward with like a bit more, of my opinion and my perspective of the situation, because I am some girl who has talked with Sykkuno. I have. And so my perspective of the situation, you would think, would matter to these online drama journalists. Oh, maybe I should get the other side of the situation and see if everyone agrees with Mal or whatever. I even had some chick DM me who has gone on a date, like I'd assume IRL date with Sykkuno. And she messaged me and she said, "Thank you, Powdur, for saying what you said. I'm too afraid to say what you say because of the haters, but I went on a date with Sykkuno and I had a really good time. He was a really nice guy." So, there's girls out there that have come forward, or maybe are too scared to come forward. I guess maybe I was the only one to come forward and be like, "Hey, I just really don't think this situation is as bad as people are making it out to be." But there are some girls lurking in the shadows that maybe feel the same way I do.
You have completely eviscerated this man's life by labeling him something that he's not. And you know what you're doing. And there's no way anybody who speaks English is like, "Oh, predator. Oh, that's not really that big of a deal." No, predator is a be-all, end-all, to quote XQC, late game term that you call f***ing criminals. Predator can even mean rapist. And you are calling this man a predator. He's not. And you know what you're doing. And claiming that you use the weakest, most innocent version. Anybody with an IQ above 67 knows that a predator is a word you do not throw around. That's a predator. It's not a word you throw around lackadaisically. And last time I checked, you're not Somalian, so I know your IQ is above 67. Final one.
Oh, God.
But it's okay.
Why the fuck are you guys saying 6'7"? 6'7", 6'7".
And last time I checked, you're not Somalian, so I know your IQ is above 67. Final.
Yeah, my bad. He did say it. 6'7", 6'7". Jesus Christ. It's like the little keys jingling. Jingle, jingle.
But it's okay. My audience gobbles up anything I say anyway, dumbass simps.
That is just untrue, by the way, too. By the way, my audience just gobbles up anything I say anyway, dumbass simps. Jesus Christ, Mujin. Isn't that what you want, Mujin? Like, you want your audience to gobble up what you say, because if anyone disagrees with what you have to say, Mujin, then you're going to threaten them with some expose video. Usually with my community, when they disagree with me, it's like, that's okay. Or, oh, let's talk about it. Or, I'm gonna call you a retard and move on. And that's about it, Whatever. Mujin's mad.
Claiming that this woman can only get views by pandering to simps. Which, by the way, Powdur is one of the few VTuber models, and I'm going to show this. Powdur is one of the few VTuber models that doesn't even abuse massive, giant, fat titties. It just looks...
Unless I am suspended on Twitch, then I will free the boobs because I want to be unbanned. Okay.
Massive, giant, fat titties. It just looks like a little elf girl with a Viking helmet on. So I don't know why we're claiming that we're just goon baiting and simp farming, but this response is terrible. And by the way, if you think I'm the only person who has this opinion, do you see all these tabs on the top right that say X on them? This isn't porn. These are all the other content creators who have spoken out in disgust of Mujin's actions here. And Mujin is a guy who needs to understand the power dynamic. Mujin, you have the power to cancel anybody on the internet. You have ruined many people's lives. Some deserve, some not. You gave me a lot of shit for something that I didn't even do. You said you read everything that was available when nothing was available. And you just lied on my name after everything I've done for you, which is psychotic. And you know what's crazy? I haven't even blocked you on Twitter because I'm hoping you'll come to your senses and maybe you'll apologize to me. And I'll never mention you again, hoping for an apology. And that's okay. Let's keep going here. We have Kim.
I don't think Mujin's gonna apologize. If he does apologize, he wouldn't apologize to Tectone directly. He wouldn't apologize to me directly. He would just go post on Twitter and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry I crashed out. I said some things I shouldn't have said. I hope you guys forgive me. And he's just gonna talk to the wider, like, Twitter audience. And then he's gonna get, like, replies from people being like, oh no, what you said is totally okay and was blown out of proportion. It's okay, Mujin. You can be a raging retard. It's fine. That's damage control, not an apology. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. I hope he does. Can't wait to clown on him. I mean, I will say that I am thankful for people like Tectone who are making a YouTube video about it, because it feels like I get a lot of traction on Twitter. So that's like my playing field when it comes to this sort of stuff. Like, yeah, let's fight on Twitter. But Mujin's area of influence is on YouTube. So I'm glad that there's creators making YouTube videos about Mujin on YouTube and like meeting him on the same playing field here and being like, you can't just hide on YouTube, Mujin. No, no, no. Like, your bad behavior is going to get called out no matter what platform. So I'm happy to see, you know, content creators like Tectone call him out. 1v1 me on Twitter. Heck yeah. Well, he picked a fight. He did. I mean, I did name him, right? I said Mujin's not always, or has never been a reliable narrator. Mujin has never been a reliable narrator. I did name him, but the response, who would have guessed?
Kirsha weighing in
Kirsha.
by giving him the ticking time clock. After this, I'm going to be real. I believe that the Mujin document and the Mujin Google Doc will become very apparent. And I do believe that Mujin, when he panders to mindless drones that gobble up everything he says, a lot of shit's going to come out about him. I'm sorry, guys. I don't trust faceless VTubers. I don't. Legal.
Yeah, okay. Also, too, like, why would Mujin want to be friends with the girl Mal who made the Google document on Sykkuno and was the same girl who said, oh, Sykkuno, you didn't cheat on me. I believe in second chances. We can still talk.
I'm still upset with you, but you didn't cheat on me. You can still talk to me and be, like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong.
Why would you be friends with someone like that? Like, you're playing with fire. I guess Mujin must be really desperate. Maybe he doesn't have much luck dating or something, because that is a huge red flag there.
Sorry, guys. I don't trust faceless VTubers. I don't. Legal Mindset says, I used to perceive, and this is a lawyer, by the way, I used to perceive Mujin as professional, but he's lost that in his handling of the Sykkuno situation in Crashout. Now downplaying the seriousness of labeling someone a predator by presenting the mild definition as hard cope. Everyone knows the real implication behind it. Very true. That's what a lawyer thinks. Speaking of lawyers, I spoke to a lawyer, and they believe that Mujin's video, if not retracted and adjusted, can open him up to a case of defamation, because you are calling someone a predator who clearly is not. There's more. Mizunamari Puddle Yokai says, this is amazing. Mujin openly admitted to coordinating a hit piece with a crazy BPD girl who still wants to sleep with the predator instead of him. And now this meager reputation is crumbling around him. He's just lashing out at anyone he can to desperately try and get a W. What's the saying? No pussy? Nah. I've seen what pussy does to a man, and I don't want none of that. You can keep up this bullshit excuse, by the way, that predator means other things, but by the definition you invented for it, you're preying on the victims yourself. You should probably course correct on that soon. Very true. Very true. Another one. Can't wait for the Mujin doc to drop. True. Legal Mindset. A lawyer weighs in again. The male simp collaborators pushing Me Too narrative types like Mujin don't realize that the people they are allying with bear no loyalty. True. Disdain the male gender as a whole and won't wait to throw him under the bus for a shred of clout. And that is the goddamn truth. Lamau, a joke about Mujin. Dear period cramps. Leave her alone. Sorry you had to see that, ladies. I just get so passionate about feminism. Yes, it is very obvious that Mujin is completely pussy crazy, trying to protect and be the defender of these e-girls. And in the end, he's completely obliterating his own credibility, which means every single video that comes after, people are going to take with a grain of salt. Guys, I'm not going to lie. Mujin's video on Sykkuno is the most disliked video of all time in the history of his channel, and I'm going to show you this with facts. This new video, while getting 73,000 likes. Also got 7,000 dislikes. This is a 10% dislike ratio, the highest ever on any of Mujin's videos. Because
I have to say too, like, I was going through the comments of Mujin's video, and it seems like a lot of people are pointing out the issues with the girl Mal and the way that she reacted in this situation. So you would think that Mujin, being unbiased and just letting people form their own opinions, would let people, you know, just come to their own conclusions and say things like that. But no, he's gonna go crash out on Twitter over a girl, me, who has a different perspective of the situation. I think he was running cover in other people's responses as well. I think he even went after XQC at some point, because XQC was joking about how Sykkuno is like a player and how he like put all of his chips on the table and then chose the one that was like the best one. You know what I'm saying? He used some sort of bizarre analogy. He's essentially playing or saying that Sykkuno went and he shoots out a bunch of DMs to a bunch of girls, and then the girls will bite back. Some of them will bite back, and then from there, Sykkuno can just choose which one that he likes the most, or which one is the best one out of it, right? He gave him game. Yeah, he that was like his advice or something. And he's like claiming that his advice worked. Okay, I'm going to tell you too why this situation doesn't really bother me. Because we know men and women are different. And men want to date pretty girls. And girls want to date men who are financially stable or have a lot of money. They want to date providers. Like, crazy concept, I know. Crazy reality we live in. At the end of the day, he has a lot of clout. He has a lot of money. He's gonna have a lot of women coming at him and wanting to be with him, sliding into his DMs, wanting to play games with him, wanting something to gain from him, right? Whether it's clout, whether it's a relationship, whether it's sex, right? They want something from him too. It just doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. And seeing some of these conversations where they're literally just saying the word crab and you have women flipping shit on Twitter about it. Are we serious? We live in fucking La La Land. And I'm just going to be completely honest. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This is me being 100% honest. Did I know that he was a larger content creator before I played Baldur's Gate with him? Yes, I did. Did I think to myself, oh, this might be, you know, good for me. This might be good for my community. This might be good for my growth. May I earn a friend from this? Perhaps. Yes, I did have those thoughts. 100%. But after playing that game with him, after playing Baldur's Gate and getting to know him a bit more and just having a few casual conversations afterwards, I thought to myself that it just seems scummy, because here's a guy who clearly wants some sort of like relationship, sexual, maybe like girlfriend type relationship with me, because that's what I was getting from the flirting, right? And I was like, I can't reciprocate that. I can't. Because then I would just be using him for his clout. And that felt icky to me. It felt incredibly icky to me. Could I have just friend zoned him and just like used him for clout? 100%. But I think it was better to let the communication die out and have him move on with other people. Have him move on to women that could reciprocate, right? Women that would sleep with him and want to be in a relationship with him or something, because I wasn't going to be that woman. I wasn't going to be that person for him. So that's why it died out. That's why we're like not friends, right? Who wouldn't have those thoughts? But Powdur stood strong on her morals. That makes her more base than 90% of the other streamers that would have used him for the clout. Yeah. And oftentimes I think about stuff like that, and it's like, maybe that's what makes me like a small content creator, or smaller than the people in Sykkuno's like circle, is that I don't friend zone a bunch of men and then use them for clout. Like I genuinely would have entertained being friends, but with the way that Sykkuno talks to me and the way that Sykkuno, talks to other women, it sounds like he wants more than friendship. So, he's pretty transparent. Also, like, going forward, I hate it when people try to act like there's the factor of someone's like fame just plays no part in anything they do. That pisses me off to no end because it's just purposefully avoiding a truth, avoiding that influence. Like, come on, like, it's okay. Just point it out, understand that it affects things. It's fine. That's just the way things are. Like when people freak out about the word competition. Oh God, all the Twitch streamers are competing with each other. Well, I'm not competing with my friend because my friend is my friend. Shut the fuck up. You're friends and you're also in competition with each other if you're both content creators. And that's just the way it is. It's fine. It's just how you go about it, right? How do you go about it? Do you cancel your friend the second they're in some sort of drama so that you can go and get Twitter points? Well, then you fucking suck, right? You fucking suck. Criticize that, You don't need to, this word competition doesn't need to have such a negative connotation. About healthy competition. Yeah, healthy competition, right? I've kind of, distanced myself from a lot of content creators, too, after, doing collaborations or talking with them privately because, as a lot of, Tectone and Asmongold has experienced, you get stabbed in the back by these people. These people do factor in your clout. They do factor in your online presence. And for them, they use that to their advantage when the time comes to cancel you or beat you down. It sucks. They pretend it doesn't matter when you're in a friendship with them, but then when it's convenient, it matters a whole lot because they can use it against you.
Usually people mindlessly accept everything he says, but now because of this, everything that he says going forward is going to be taken with a grain of salt because there is now not one, not two, not three, but 5 different instances of Mujin talking about something like he knows something when he doesn't. All of this over getting some e-pussy. Well, in that case, notorious predator Mujin crashes out after his recent hit piece is met with massive criticism after being placed under scrutiny. People have noticed how his predatory behavior has ruined the reputation of many. Is this the end of this predator? Mujin, by your own logic, you would be a predator, preying victim on Powdur. Because she's a smaller content creator than you, and you are taking advantage of that fact, trying to bully her into silence.
Me too.
So by your own definition, Mujin, you are now a predator. Really not a good look, and you need to understand what your actions are causing. I look forward to an apology soon, unless you're gonna double down and go in on everybody. Take out your aggression on another harmless individual. Mujin is crashing out. Everyone knows that when it comes to YouTube and it's canceling people. When people say the person is a predator, everyone instinctively knows it's referring to an individual that's taking advantage of children. True. Mujin wanted to use the word predator to mislead people into believing that Sykkuno was trying to manipulate children for sexual reasons. True. In reality, this wasn't the case. All of the victims were adults. Now, when he gets backlash, he hides behind a technicality and goes, but actually predator means taking advantage of people. Obviously, calling someone a predator, then letting the viewers assume the worst case scenario is better than simply calling Sykkuno a cheater. And all of this was for the sakes of clicks. Scummy, cheating e-boy wouldn't have gotten as much attention, so you had to participate with Mal in escalating it, adding crap like dangerous predator and evil manipulator. True. I'm going to laugh when a woman inevitably comes forward and accuses him of being a predator.
Can I do that? Can I? No. Mujin, by your own definition, I have to imagine that the reason why it was so hard to plan gaming with Sykkuno is I believe he would, I don't know, I just imagine him sitting in a cafe eating a sandwich and he sends out a mass DM to all of the girls. He has a list or something that says, "Want to play games?" We really need to play games together. And then from there, it's up to those girls to fill in the blanks with the specifics. It makes it so that he doesn't have to do as much work.
A woman inevitably comes forward and accuses him of being a predator. True. Damn, I bet Mujin is a feminist who respects all women until they have a different opinion than him.
True.
What is this? Exactly. Another one, Crashing Out. He made a biased video. Everyone saw it. This isn't the first time that you've been biased. Mal was upset she wasn't the only girl that Sykkuno DM'd. As for the actual victim, his girlfriend, did any of you ask her if she wanted this made public? True.
That's a good...
Never have I seen...
That is a really, really good question. Does anyone know? Did the girlfriend give the green light to make this a public thing? No, we don't know. If I was in that girlfriend's shoes, I would go postal. Like, I would be so upset with this chick if she tried to buddy up to me and was like, by the way, your boyfriend's cheating on you. Let me help you out. And then goes to the boyfriend and is like, oh, well, you didn't cheat on me and we can still talk. I believe in second chances. You have a man with a lot of money, a lot of clout, and he's not flirting with just you. Nope. He's flirting with me, aka literally Hitler.
Was upset she wasn't the only girl that everyone saw it. This isn't the first time that you've been biased. Mal was upset she wasn't the only girl that Sykkuno DM'd.
Good night,
As for
Nick.
the actual victim, his girlfriend, did any of you ask her if she wanted this made public? True. Never have I seen a man lack so much self-worth barely 4 months into the year. You'd rather be the lapdog of your own downtown slumlord hooker than get a real job. Now I know you're dating these girls. Frankly, they can do better than dating a drama slop tuber. Mujin's Crashout has been delicious to watch. Why be...
You're welcome. You're welcome. It goes to show I can be banned on Twitch and I'm still gonna make content for you guys. My existence makes people flail. What can I say? This was so stupid on Mujin's part. He's such a fucking retard. His post looks weird. Like, he looks like a fucking schizo. He doesn't look like a reliable journalist at all. Now it looks like he's like a cuck schizo. Not a good look. Not at all.
Credible and have some journalistic integrity when you can just be first? Mujin, probably. Could it be that you're retarded? Holy crash out, dude. Are you being serious? You skipped looking at replies under Mujin's tweet and people shitting on him. I'll pull it up right now. We'll read that at the end. All she said was, yes, he's a cheater and that deserves criticism. But no, she personally didn't feel manipulated, and calling him a predator might be taking it a bit too far.
Right.
That's not excusing him of being a cheater. People can have opinions on how you handle the situation.
Right.
Also, fantasizing about making some hit piece exposing someone's relation because they make edgy jokes online. What the f? That's real weird. Someone...
It's not even that, too. It goes deeper because this like relationship with a black dude doesn't even exist. It just doesn't exist. It just came out of left field. He's just schizo posting. That's what makes it funnier. It's like, what? Oh my god.
Clearly can't take up any type of critique without...
He thought you were Riri? I guess. He thought I was Riri or Elfin or something, but Elfin didn't even date a black guy. Like, these are different people. These are completely different people.
That's real weird. Someone clearly can't take up any type of critique without crashing out.
Yeah.
You really are an unreliable narrator. Oof. Very true. Dickers points
You're
out that
not
Mujin wants to
no.
make it seem like he is less involved in the allegations against
Sideline, thank
Sykkuno
you for
by
the sub.
unfollowing the accusers before screenshotting. The doc Mujin shows is named Exposing Sykkuno, but the doc publicly shared is copy of Exposing Sykkuno.
Oh.
And he didn't follow her back? I'm telling you. Through the course of this drama, there is an effort for Mujin to portray himself as if these guys are like totally independent and he's just commenting on the fucking story. Counterpose. Okay? So me and Mujin have been friends and he's been one of my confidants this entire time.
Yep.
But he doesn't acknowledge that he had a big hand in that Twitter document. He doesn't acknowledge that he's like helped with the drama behind the scenes, and he's pretending as though he doesn't follow her on Twitter. Okay, buddy. All right, man.
Now, that's...
Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Good on him.
completely fine to help people behind the scenes. But when you're making a post like that and you're acting like it's from an unbiased perspective, that is fraudulently disingenuous.
Yeah.
It's very important to acknowledge what you've done before making an expose on that and declaring your bias. I do that every video. Like I said, Mujin is not a good person, as evident by his disgusting, sarcastic post against Powdur that is filled with pure ad hominem smear, complete with actual racist relationship angle that especially comes off as fetishizing, creepy, and irrelevant to the core drama. True. It's almost always the case that men who proclaim their defense of women and those who shout lack of racism are some of the most racist and sexist people in the world. This post is one of the purest form of that evidence, attacking a female CC in a way that absolutely atrocious. That shit was weird as fuck. So, the next time you end up encountering one of these left-coded male feminist types, just beware, they're willing to go scorched earth just to maintain their ego. Very true. Elfin Psyop seems to have done some damage to Mujin's psyche. Very true. Mujin actively destroying his reputation for clicks. It's insane. Destiny perfectly summarized the Sykkuno drama. Now this is Destiny, kind of a weird guy, but I'm wearing to hear him out. Let's see it.
Does the whole drama boil down to him cheating? Is this literally it? Yes. The problem is well, kind of, but not really. The problem is that the girl didn't get him in the end. If Sykkuno would have agreed to date her, then nothing would have been written. It would have been fine.
Absolutely fucking truth nuke.
Yeah.
Destiny goes in again. Once again, everybody's been saying this. It's nice hearing this from another person.
All of this can be explained in 20 seconds of the video between that one girl and Sykkuno. It can all be explained in 20 seconds. And it's the idea that if they don't get what they want in the end, then they can flip it onto the guy who's being an abuser. One of the huge paradigm shifts that needs to happen, in that you can read it in the very beginning of this girl's thing. Here's a huge paradigm shift that needs to happen. It'll never happen. I've given up on society. I don't give a fuck about anything. Okay? But this is what needs to happen. But it won't happen, okay? When a woman says to you, there's this guy, and I really like him, but the thing is, he'll only hang out with me when I guarantee him sex. Every single time that story is presented in left spaces, it's seen as the guy manipulating the woman. But that is 100% a two-way street.
Yep.
But if you would even imply the opposite, people lose their mind. Because you could very easily flip that to, there's this girl, and I don't know how I feel about her. I don't think I would date her or whatever, but she keeps saying she wants to f me every single time she has to hang out. So like you're manipulating him just as much as he's manipulating you.
True.
The only difference, though, is that if things don't work out in the end for the girl, she can write a giant doc on the dude to try to get him destroyed because he didn't date her in the end. It's just...
We see this story far too often. You watch the streams, clearly the woman is madly in love with the man. The man moves on, realizes the woman isn't good for him. And then the woman says, I love you. Please be with me. I want to have your kids. I want to marry you. And the guy says, I just don't think it would work out. Sorry, no hard feelings, but I'm gonna look for a woman that I actually think I'm compatible with. No, you can't. If I can't have him, nobody can. He's going after a new girl. He's a rapist. He's an abuser. He's a manipulator. He's a predator. Please, he has to be alone, because if I can't have him, nobody can. A tale as...
Got a little spit on my face from that. This is why I like Tectone. I like the way that he gets all
as old as time. And we see it over
Yeah.
and over and over and over and over. Guys, type 1 if you've seen that happen 5 times in the past year. Sykkuno was living with his girlfriend, who he struggled to actually break up with, even though the relationship was already dead. He did it initially to tell people who were highly interested in him and actively seeking him out. A ton of people wanted to sleep with him and apparently wanted to move in after a day or two of talking.
Oh my god, he's gonna read this all? Holy. Alright, Tectone, I'll sit back and listen though. Let's hear.
He cheated on said girlfriend. From what Sykkuno said himself, the voice call was basically girlfriend in name only. The accuser still wants a relationship with him afterwards, but got cut out of his life. And then came the very coordinated effort to turn into a full headpiece against him. True. So Sykkuno is a cheater and a player. He flirted with a girl and got consenting adults, but he was living with his kind of sort of girlfriend and didn't disclose it, which is nasty. He's an asshole, but calling him dangerous or a predator is a straight up defamatory statement. That word is heavily associated with pedophiles in everyone's mind and feels like an intentional buzzword to sensationalize this and do maximum damage, rather than an actual honest take from the heart. what seems to me should be the takeaway. The VTuber space needs to chill on being horny 24/7. True. We gotta stop ripping off our clothes and engage with we barely know. Streamers in general need to be more professional and be way more skeptical of other content creators in general. When
It's not even just the VTuber space, right? It's just this hookup culture.
money and fame are involved, people, women included, are willing to accept, even participate in some wildly sketchy shit because it'll be beneficial. I've seen so much diabolical shit from women and men in this space over the past 5 years, all in the name of pride, greed, lust, envy, etc. It's not even funny. Tons of streamers do predatory shit. Some of it gets condemned, but the vast majority gets accepted, rewarded, and fiercely defended. Also, big streamers almost never lift up smaller ones, except for me. That's all I do. So when a massive creator comes at
Thanks, Tectone.
you, bells should be ringing immediately. The VTuber space is an incredibly predatory space. Entire careers are built on inherently predatory dynamics for money and clout. The problem here is that he cheated on a girlfriend he didn't have the balls to break up with and wasn't completely honest with the girls who were serious and invested in the situation. Motive seemed lustful in nature, which is something we see everywhere, especially the VTuber scene, from a lot of women as well. Seems he wasn't coming from a space of romantic interest, it was just some lust from everyone all around. He's an asshole and a player, not a pedophile, not a rapist. He's an ass and wrong for what he did, but he doesn't seem to be the only one in the wrong. His girlfriend is the clear victim here. However, tons of streamers, women and men, are nasty and predatory. It should all be taken seriously, but it never ever is and likely never will be. Big truth nuke.
My face!
Big truth galaxy nuke. Zach, it's obvious he backhand channeled with the victims. That's not a bad thing, IMO. I absolutely agree, as long as you disclose that in your hit pieces. It's also obvious that while Sykkuno is an obvious fuckboy, he was also obviously not a predator. I wish adult women would stop using the word predator to describe unfaithful guys. It waters down the word. Absolutely. Every woman who f***ed this dude knew he had side chicks. They gaslit them into thinking he would be the one. Women do this all the time with semi-famous or famous guys on stream.
It's competition. What is it? Like, Sykkuno's the cornucopia in the middle, and all the women are around, like in the Hunger Games. It just goes to show you, though, guys, you can be average, maybe a little below average, but if you got money and you got clout, women, they'll fight for you. They'll fight over you. They'll sabotage each other to get to you.
Or on Instagram, then cry the minute they realize he isn't going to commit to them. True. The problem is they do more than cry. They get angry that they aren't picked as the one generate Google Doc or run their favorite simp ally, Mujin, for a coordinated hit piece documentary that borders on defamation. This is what a lawyer thinks, bordering on defamation. Sykkuno's Discord server just got nuked.
Oh.
End of an era. By the way, a lot of us have moved on to another server. Let me know if you want to join. Here's the
Really?
comments. The amount of buzzwords in this puke of a tweet just to describe what it comes down to. The simple word
Choo-choo.
cheater is hilarious. W Powder. A woman didn't step in
thanks.
line. Better drop the SIM card. There it is. Rev
I
says,
like Savvy. Savvy's fun.
Desu says, what? I had no viewers whatsoever and became desperate after trying everything to be relevant. You just tried to shit on another content creator by colluding with one of the worst Google Docs ever created, and you did this because you wanted to have the exclusivity for views. What did this girl promise you that she's going to be willing to ruin your reputation for? All of these spurgouts really make you look like a condescending No. It makes him look like a predator. And if Mujin is so comfortable with calling people a predator and saying it's not a big deal, well, guess what the title of this video is? You say it's fair game to call someone a predator, then take your own advice. Mujin, I guess you will now, from this point forward and forever be known, you're a predator because you went on Powder knowing that she's a smaller content creator and you preyed victim on her. Pathetic, disgusting, and learn. Mujin, you used to be the fucking man. I don't know what's going on this past year, but you've turned on so many people who have had your back just in pursuit of e-girl pussy. And that shit is pathetic. And when the Google Doc comes on you and you see all these people who say they're your friends, they're all going to turn their back on you. And the ones who would have had your back, you stabbed in the back. And you know that's the goddamn truth. And that's a goddamn shame. May God have mercy on your soul. And Mujin, please get better. Go to therapy or something, man. That behavior is unwell.
True. Very true. Thank you, Tectone. Good video. Thanks for standing up for me, too. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for just calling him, like, even if you didn't defend me, like, thanks for just pointing out how much of an idiot he was. It was incredibly weird to see. Felt like he wanted me to be sexually assaulted so that Mujin's narrative was stronger or something. No, bud. No. Not a victim here. Not a victim. I guess I'm smarter than a lot of other people, a lot of other women. I don't think I'm all that smart, but every day I'm proven wrong. I've not kept up, but seems Mujin is just crashing out. Yeah. I don't think he's said anything. Mujin hasn't said... He's been awfully quiet, hasn't he? Can we get a wellness check on Mujin? Mujin put out a statement. Let's read it. Okie dokie. Mujin made a statement. He said, "Some members of my community have reached out regarding a few concerns, and I want to make sure I properly address them before we fully move on from this topic. Look, I'm flattered that Himomal tweeted that she considers me a close friend, and I'm grateful for her trust. But the first time we spoke was on April 7th, so this narrative that the video was made as a favor to anyone is simply false." Whoa! Does Mujin have any friends? Oh no! Apparently she thought you were a friend. Ouch. Okay. Well, it wouldn't be the first time Mujin has denounced a friend. So here we go. The truth is, Sykkuno's serial cheating and manipulation was only the tip of the iceberg, and I was hoping the video would encourage the many others who have stayed quiet for years to finally find the courage to talk about their experiences. Unfortunately, with the current state of affairs, that doesn't seem like it will happen anymore, even if they were to somehow fit the image of a perfect victim. I don't blame them whatsoever. Whatever, let's keep reading. I don't blame them whatsoever. Instead, I can only wish them the best, and I hope that his ex, who was cheated on for over 5 years, can find the peace that she deserves. As for me, I'll continue making videos that millions of people enjoy, and when prompted, I'll still strive to do the right thing, even if it's not trendy, because that's just how I was raised, and it's simply who I am. That will never change, no matter how many vultures try to desperately farm my name. That's crazy coming from a drama tuber. Man, you know, if you dish it, you gotta learn how to take it, man. You do. Welcome to what you do to other people. How does it feel? Thank you for being the best community I could ever ask for, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Mujin. Mujin, I didn't get a sorry. What gives? I told you guys that, though. I knew he wouldn't apologize. Yeah, he locked the replies. Why? This was a very predictable response. Yeah, definitely. Incredibly predictable. Bitch ass. Yeah, he's scared, I guess. He's scared of the criticism? Because, like, people can just quote tweet. Like, did he, like, address any concerns here? Because I'm still left with a crap ton of questions. Yeah. Dude, grow a spine. Your hit piece failed. You've destroyed multiple creators' lives to help out your friends. You did a hit piece to help Tectone and Braxophone, who both abused their exes. You're not the good guy. You're just a clout-chasing e-whore. You are a snake and a predator. Damn. This is what I'm saying, too. It's very interesting to see how the tables have turned for him, because you have a lot of people who don't like Tectone, so they were just like okay with Mujin criticizing Tectone, but then when it came out that Mujin had been holding on to that information, and he admitted to holding on to that information about Tectone, and he didn't do anything about it, that pissed him off. But this is giving them more fuel to shit on him, Mujin, for his terrible coverage of the situation. And his crash out. I mean, I think his crash out just like goes to show that he is incredibly emotional. I feel like he needs an ego check, personally. Just based off of what I saw here. Like, as for me, I'll continue making videos that millions of people enjoy, and when prompted, I'll strive to do the right thing. Like, there doesn't seem... It just doesn't feel very humble, right? Turning off replies is a bitch move. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, you know, everyone flipping out on Twitter, like that's not hitting him where it hurts. He's a YouTube guy, so that's why he brought up the like vulture thing, right? He's like, oh, where is that? No matter how many vultures try to desperately farm my name, sounds like you know, the people making YouTube videos about him are making him feel pretty bad. You took down the mini boss? Wait, who's the big boss? Wait, who am I going after next? To be honest, guys, the key takeaway from something like this is be careful of VTubers. There's yeah, where's my tinfoil hat? Let's put that on. Hopefully it fits my fat head. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Powder needs a detective trench coat and a fedora. You know what I do have? I do have some detective stuff, actually. I have like a, my little... spyglass. What's going on here? Detective Powder at your service. I guess? I had a guess, right? That like Mujin and co, or Mal and co didn't reach out to the girlfriend, because I just had a hard time imagining that someone would want their private life like that. But also, because Sykkuno cheated, maybe the girlfriend did want, you know, this sort of like cancellation campaign to happen. Those were all these questions like circulating, but now we know that she was not spoken to. Yikes. Also, it just goes to show that all these people hiding behind the, oh, I'm just trying to help out the girlfriend. You don't realize that your actions just fucked up her real life even more. Because now, not only is she dealing with her boyfriend who cheated on her, but now she has to deal with the internet, the general public coming in, judging her relationship, and she's getting flooded with a bunch of information. Who knows if it's like true or not? A lot of it has been debunked. What are we doing? What are we doing? The reason we're doing this is because Sykkuno released a message at 10:14 this morning. It already has 3.5 million views. Jesus Christ. Okay, so people are asking like, oh, did they talk to the girlfriend? They didn't talk to the girlfriend about the expose. What they did talk to the girlfriend about was Sykkuno being unfaithful. And this is where Bao came into play, right? Is because of this controversial tweet. We don't see much of the conversation between the girlfriend and Bao, but this is, again, a cropped screenshot we can see here, where the girlfriend says, "Hey Bao, I'm sorry to bother you with this, but I heard something recently that was a bit concerning, and I thought I would just come ask you about it. I heard that there was an instance of Sykkuno trying to get VTuber girls up to his hotel room to drink with them, and that the tweet you made about being cautious of large male streamers showering you with gifts attention was about him in regards to him doing it to one of your friends. One of Bao's friends. So now we have a connection, right? Bao is somehow connected to Sykkuno via an experience with one of her friends. Bao told me that 3 days before I contacted her and her mod, Sykkuno and his girlfriend were trying to reconcile. After Sykkuno somehow managed to convince her that it was all a huge misunderstanding. So, when I read something like this, it's like, okay, Bao talked to the girlfriend, right? On the 24th of March. And their conversation led to the girlfriend deciding to try and reconcile with Sykkuno about it. So the girlfriend was like, okay, now that I know about his unfaithfulness, I am going to go and talk to him. We are going to figure this out.
On that screenshot, open Google Doc, paste it, and press the crop image. You will see the rest of the text that is hidden.
Wait, really? Press copy? Wait, I can do that? Oh. I can see more. Oh, okay, let's see if it's relevant. This is what was cropped. Okay, but let's see if it's any, like, let's see if it's... enhance, enhance, enhance. Here is the added part. I just wanted to know if it was true or if I was misinformed. I'd rather hear the truth if you do know something, but I'm really sorry for coming to you with such a weird question. Not trying to start anything. I just really wanted to know if something was happening that I'm not aware about. I understand a lot of he said, she said rumors go around, but it was just something that was concerning me. I wanted to ask you. Thank you so much. I also wasn't told when or how long ago this was, but that it was something they heard. Sorry again, I'm not trying to drag you into anything. I just really want to know if that was true or not. Okay, so. It's essentially, again, the girlfriend reaching out. She's concerned. Apparently, there's a rumor going around where Sykkuno was involved with one of Bao's friends. We don't know the story on that. I mean, how many girls have come forward? I don't freaking know. Like 5, 6? I don't know. The number just keeps growing. But anywho, so now we have some more context. But it's just essentially her being concerned. Do you think she even knew that they would take her DM and put it... They just like took her DM and put it into this document and... Oh, they didn't even talk to her. Oh. And this... Bao gave this to Mal. Mind you. Because this is a message to Bao, right? Hey, Bao, this is from the girlfriend. So Bao gave this to Mal. Someone says Mal gave that to Bao. What? They're redacting the girlfriend here. One guy, am I getting one guide? This is from the girlfriend to Bao. You guys, stop being idiots. That's dumb. You're a dumb chatter. You're dumb. Bao took this DM and gave it to Mal. And Mal took the DM and put it in her document. Anyway, moving on. And this is where Mal gets in a call with Sykkuno and then is like, oh, well, we can still hang out. Duh. What? You're grilling this guy for cheating on his girlfriend and you're still wanting to be in contact with him. What is this? You also had sexual relations with this guy. You sent nudie photos. Like, I just don't see what reality you stay even friends, to be honest. Like, if Sykkuno and his girlfriend are going to be together, I can't imagine that you would still be allowed to be his friend, right? Because the girlfriend would be extremely uncomfortable with that. And not only that, Sykkuno would probably be extremely uncomfortable now after this whole, like, blow up, right? That's crazy. Because the girlfriend decided that she was going to solve this issue privately, they said, that's not good enough for me. Instead, I'm going to make this Google Doc. And then someone, Mal, Bao, or someone contacted Mujin and was like, hey, Mujin, I got this juicy story. Here you go. And then he made a whole video, dropped it, monetized it, and he's profiting off of other people's misfortune. Trying to hide behind, oh, I'm doing this for the girlfriend. I'm doing this for the victims. Victims, which, you know, is up for debate for a lot of people. But let's be honest, the ex-girlfriend is the victim here. And if anything, Mujin, she is a victim of you. You putting out this expose video, getting 1 million views off of it, profiting off of her relationship and her, I would even say, trauma from her boyfriend cheating on her. What the fuck are you doing? Sorry, I got mad. The audacity of Mujin to call other people vultures and then to put out a yeah, and in that same statement, to just be like, I was raised to do the right thing, so I'm going to do that. You fucked up. You fucked up. You and your buddies here, all of these people involved who didn't talk to the girlfriend about making her life public, you suck. You suck. Like, yeah, I get it, okay? Sykkuno's lying about being single. Sykkuno cheated on his girlfriend. But, like, did anyone have a thought about how this would affect her? No. Because they wanted the views. They wanted the clicks. They wanted the sympathy. They are doing this for selfish reasons. They're selfish. God! Evil! You're evil! You guys are evil! Anyways, here's Sykkuno's apology. So his apology says, I would like to apologize to everyone I have disappointed, most of all to my girlfriend. I am so sorry I put you through so much. I never want to make these mistakes again and hurt you and the people I care about. I was unfaithful, and I own and fully admit to that, okay? I lied to people and told them I was single, which I know is not right. I'm sorry to all of the people I hurt by doing this. The following is not an attempt to minimize what I have done. However, I have seen false accusations about me that are not true. I cannot allow false accusations and such extreme labels to be placed on me. I do understand that the people making these claims did it from a place of hurt. So please do not send any more hate to anyone. That's a nice thought, Sykkuno. Unfortunately, probably not gonna happen. Now that this is a public problem, that's probably not gonna happen. But, you know, you can say that, right? You can say that, but you know how people are, right? I just want the situation to get better and I wish them the best. My girlfriend and I didn't respond quickly because we were already working on our relationship and communication before this all happened. That tracks. That tracks too. That tracks in this document because, again, the girlfriend reached out to Bao about his unfaithfulness. So that tracks. And then it also says, Bao told me 3 days before I contacted her in Ahmad, Sykkuno and his girlfriend were trying to reconcile. So they were trying to solve this behind the scenes already. My girlfriend and I didn't respond because we were already working on our relationship and communication before this all happened. Having so much private information exposed to the public has made it incredibly difficult for us to heal together. Right. Because now it's like, every day was like a new person, right? Oh, look what he sent me. Look what he sent me. This is what he did. And then you have stories about people having consensual sex and you regretting it? Why would you post that? That's fucking weird.
So instead, I just gave him oral, okay?
Now that shit is on the internet forever, and any future partner of yours is going to see that and be like, what the fuck? Not only is it weird to expose your sex life like that just for the entirety of the internet, but it's also weird from any future partner's perspective, right? Because they're going to see that in a moment of drama or weakness, you might be the person to go and make a video and insinuate that they assaulted you. What guy is going to like that? Like, what guy is going to trust you? Bonkers, right? Bonkers. And it's just so weird to try and say like, oh, I don't sleep with anyone I'm not in a relationship with, so I just give them a blowjob. So you just give blowjobs to like friends? To strangers? Not a good look. What the fuck are you doing? Also, you can't even claim that because you did have sex with someone you weren't in a relationship with. Dude, what are you doing? Also, Like, please think about these things before you release these stories. Write something down. Double check it. Like, check it twice. Like Santa. Like, look at what you're like about to say and be like, is this a good idea? It's going to be on the internet forever. Like, whatever. No well-adjusted man is going to look at that and be like, yeah, I like her. I want to be with her. Let's keep going. This is kind of fun. I like my little tinfoil hat and my little spyglass. I will be taking a break from streaming and the internet to better myself and give us the time we need to try and improve our relationship. Thank you for reading, and I will continue to learn and grow from this experience. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is Sykkuno's first big drama. This is like his first big blow up. So like, while I think that he would be okay to like start streaming tomorrow or to like go and post a YouTube video and like he would still like do well numbers wise and financially, I know that oftentimes during these controversies and during this drama, it's like, oh God, my heart. And especially with another person involved too, right? Like the girlfriend. There's two people in this relationship, right? So they gotta figure out what the fuck's going on. So, yeah. I guess the break is probably for the best. Maybe that'll give them time to like figure out what the hell they're doing. Maybe at the end of this, they'll decide to break up, right? But that's kind of like up to them, right? He did say he will be taking a break from streaming and the internet, but who knows how long. Anywho, second part is my girlfriend wanted to share her experience. Below is a message written by her, which again, I saw some people saying, I don't even believe that she wrote this. She's still on Twitter. She's there, by the way. She didn't just like poof out of existence. She could easily just come forward and be like, yeah, I didn't write this. Sykkuno's a big fat liar. I think that's silly, guys. I think it's more likely that the boyfriend and her that lived together made this statement together. So I'm just inclined to believe that she did play a part in this. I think if anything, people are like talking about her decision because again, like after learning that he cheated on her, she approached him and then decided that they were going to try to reconcile. She didn't decide to just like cut him off then and there. She's giving it some time because I heard that they've been in a relationship since, what was it, I think it was 2021. So for like 5 years, they've been in a relationship. So that's rough, you know? That's rough. Not everyone can just like cut it, right? And just pack up and leave. Some people like are gonna talk. They're gonna talk, right? They've been in this relationship for 5 years. They're gonna talk. They're gonna have questions. Anyway, I'd understand it if like they haven't been in a relationship for a long time, but being in a relationship for 5 years, there's a lot of, you know, a lot there, a lot of memories, a lot of feelings, and you gotta confront it. And it sucks that like they weren't even given the privacy and time to like work it out between themselves. Instead, it had to become this giant public issue because all these girls decided that her trying to figure it out privately is not the way to go. Instead, I will decide for her. Oh my god. Okay. What the fuck? Anyways, this is the girlfriend's statement, which is, by the way, longer than Sykkuno's message. It says, "Hi there. I want to start by saying thank you to those who have been checking on me and wishing me well during such a difficult time. It's been extremely heartbreaking to learn everything I know now, and going through this has been one of the hardest things I've ever been put through in my life. I've been tossed around from all sides. Me and my reality have been continuously shattered." Dude, she can't trust anyone, right? Her boyfriend cheated on her. The people she talked to used her for a doc and video expose took her messages. Oh my gosh. It's so sad, right? That's so sad that she trusted these people. Anyway, though no matter how broken I am, I never wanted this to be public. It deeply hurts me that I wasn't given a choice in that, or even just warned that this would be happening at all. I didn't want this. Even after the fact, I wish they would have at least checked in on me. Or asked me how I felt about everything. So the doc was released 6 days ago. The video was released 6 days ago. You're telling me that they did not even check on her or ask her how she but I haven't heard anything from the people involved since this all came out. Oh, man. I understand that those involved with him have been hurt as well, but I don't believe my feelings were considered in this situation at all. Having my worst fears become my reality, then put on full display and used for profit for everyone to see is absolutely mortifying. Yep. It truly feels like a nightmare. It was already hard enough trying to work through things in private. This has just added another layer of difficulty and stress on top of everything. It's made it so much harder for me to cope. Prior to all of this becoming public, we were already making changes to improve our relationship. And while I could have chosen to leave, I ultimately made the decision to stay with the hopes of repairing our relationship together. And that tracks again, once again, because in the Sykkuno, in this document, Bao told her about the unfaithfulness and she decided to reconcile. So even April 4th, when there was or whatever, we don't have a date on it, but it says Bao and her mod put me in a group chat with Sykkuno's girlfriend where I would share all of the screenshots you see above. So Mal, Bao, and her mod and the girlfriend were all talking to each other. She was horrified and then she left. The girlfriend left the group chat. And I guess they just couldn't deal with that. They couldn't leave it alone. They decided to go and do this. Ugh. Even though all of the things I've learned are incredibly disappointing and shocking, I don't think they are irredeemable. It's been hard handling things unfolding this way, but I believe this will be a step in the right direction. I mean, their relationship, we don't know the inner workings of it, but yeah, I mean, it kind of sounds like she is going to stay, or they're still figuring it out. I mean, knowing what she knows, it's choosing to stay. Okay, all right, that's up to you. Just, that's your relationship. You can figure it out from there, right? It's possible she still breaks up. A lot of people stay together after cheating, but the lack of trust remains long-term and they can't handle it. Right. I think I could see that. This all happened within 2 weeks. Her finding out about the unfaithfulness and then this blowing up, it's just made the whole situation so messy that they haven't even had a chance to be private about it, figure it out together. Now you're oh God, here's another wrench in the situation. Now I have to address the public, right? And I have seen that where people have had partners who cheat and then they'll again, stay together for a little bit longer, but inevitably it doesn't work out in the long run. But the people deciding to do this, the people deciding to make this document and make this video, they're trying to speed run. They're trying to speed run her decision by making it messier and making it harder and more difficult. It's really annoying to me that because those people are not they don't know the inner workings of this relationship, that they are getting so involved in it because they were like a one night stand, or they were like sexting for 2 months. And it's like, you're gonna go into this like 5-year relationship and determine how it should be run? Ugh. Also, you're gonna try and stay in contact with the guy who cheated on his girlfriend and like talk about second chances here? Like, it just feels very messy, especially with Mal when she was talking to Sykkuno on the 27th and they agreed to be friends. Mal expressed that she still had feelings for him. Like, she still had these like deeper feelings for him. So like, ah! Anyway, she ends the message with time, I hope everyone can focus on healing and being better versions of themselves. And that's it. That's the end.
I don't think many people are considering these girls were somewhat begging for money. I wonder how many other guys they might be doing the same thing with, especially given that one of them has a Patreon with a $616 a month subscription that's sold out.
I hate this because I don't want to think that people are just evil. I just hate thinking that way. But it very well could be that this was an effort for the Patreon money. I just don't like thinking like that. I don't like thinking like that, but there are genuinely evil people out there. And what sucks so much about this situation is that it happens time and time again that these girls do this and they go without any sort of consequence, without any sort of like real life consequence, because to them this stuff is just internet stuff. They don't have to worry about being in like close proximity and dealing with the consequences of like the fallout from it. Like like, you know, back then when you were like being a whore in your village, you were ostracized, you were made fun of, people like talked about you, they didn't like you. But now this sort of thing is okay, and this is celebrated. And the more we enable these bad behaviors, the more people are going to push what they can get away with. They're going to keep pushing it, pushing this bad behavior. What else can I do? What else can I get away with? Oh, and you throw in money, which just adds, you know, greed. I'm not even religious, but you could just like talk about like the sinfulness of it, right? If you're religious, it's just absolutely disgusting. I just sucks, man. What a shit situation.
My only thought to these revelations repeal the 19th.
Yeah. Oh, you know what makes me mad about this too? Is that a lot of these chicks are VTubers. Ah! Like, VTubers are not beating the mentally ill allegations. God damn it. I knew that there were a lot of whores in the VTubing community, but you're gonna tell me that you're also like severely mentally ill at the same time?
Same thing, bitch.
Fuck! Like, choose a struggle, you know? No, you just have both. You have both. This is what I said. I said this, so I told you guys, you know, I read this before stream, and then I did decide to comment on it. And I said, Bao, Mal, and Mujin, shame on you. You had people believing you cared about the real victim in this situation, the girlfriend. You did not care. You did this because you were selfish. You put money above the safety and well-being of the girlfriend. This isn't just internet drama. Your actions can and will fuck up someone's real life. The girlfriend already knew about the infidelity and chose to work through it in private, and you knew this. Were you just mad she didn't leave him? You had to go collude and cause a fit for the whole public to see? You guys are nasty people. That's what I had to say. Even, yeah, Tectone commented, I cannot believe the levels that Bao, Mal, and Mujin stoop to. These people aren't human. They don't think this is real life. They just pursue clicks, likes, and money. Absolutely disgusting behavior. This was their business and no one else's. Mujin, take the video down. I think there's gonna be other people asking for that too. But honestly, I don't know. Tomorrow morning, or is Tectone gonna do a late Rumble stream? I'm not sure. But you know that he yells, right? We watched a Tectone video not too long ago. I feel like this is something that he will start screaming about. And I want to see it. You know, I want to watch it.
He's a predator!
I just find it so freaking funny when he starts screaming. So, we'll see. We'll see what he does about it. I don't know. Maybe things are more obvious to me than they are to other people, but knowing that these three played a big part in the Sykkuno and girlfriend drama, I mean, I feel like that's pretty clear, right? You're exposing all of them. Well, to be fair, a lot of them did it themselves. Like, they came forward and decided to make these statements, and then they got absolutely roasty-toasted by the internet, by people who aren't dumb, you know? The smart people started being like, there's something weird here. I'm gonna start questioning this. Yeah, so someone said, Leaflet replied, oh, it was 11 minutes ago. She said, the absolute aura to put their names straight up without using at, knowing it will get to them anyway. Absolute legend elf. I mean, obviously, I've been growing a significant amount on Twitter, which is really nice. So my tweets, they tend to circulate. But also, I know these damn bitches are terminally online. I know that they're looking at this apology and they're probably loving that people are like focused on the oh, why is she even staying with the cheater? That's weird and blah blah blah. No, that's too easy. How about we talk about the people who started this whole fiasco? I think that there needs to be some consequences there. Thanks for the compliment, Leaflet. Apparently just mentioning the name Mujin, an unreliable narrator, in the same sentence causes crashouts. Causes one of the most glorious crashouts I've seen in the VTuber space. I just love that he made himself look like a fucking weirdo. Like he's like schizo posting and people are like, whoa, who knew? Who knew? A lot of it, like, you know what these people get wrong about me? You know what these people get wrong about me? Is that, yeah, sure. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't like my opinions. A lot of people don't like my politics. But there are a significant amount of people that do. And the people that I talk to and the people that I attract are the same types of people that have been wronged by this system, by their country, by their fellow people, and they're tired of it. And they're not gonna let you get away with labeling them and lying about them. No, it's about time we fought back and didn't silence ourselves because we're afraid of conflict. Nope, not afraid of conflict anymore, you dumb bitches. It's about time some people started fighting back. You don't get to win. You suck. Look at what you do to people. You are not the winners here. You're evil. Evil. You are my enemy, and you deserve to be destroyed. These people don't care. They only care about themselves. They care about money. Bad people. Powdur, whenever you overthrow the VTubing community, can we get a national holiday for being white? Yeah. We gotta start small. We'll start with the VTubing community. We'll work our way up. Only reason Powdur managed to resist Sykkuno was due to her racism. I mean, it's true that I've never dated outside of my race.